In a world adrift in chaos, do you ever wonder if your greatest betrayal could be your path to destiny? What if the depths of your suffering hold the secret to unshakable purpose? Journey with us through an ancient narrative and discover how to transform profound injustice into divine elevation. There are whispers that echo through the canyons of time, tales woven not merely for their antiquity, but for the profound truths they conceal, waiting to be unveiled by the seeking soul. Tonight, we unseal a scroll not of dusty parchment, but of the human spirit, a narrative etched by divine providence and Stoic resolve, the saga of Joseph, son of Jacob. It is a story not just of a man, but of an archetypal journey we all undertake, a descent into the crucible and an ascent into purpose. Imagine a favored son, cloaked in a coat of many colors, a vibrant tapestry of his father's affection. Joseph, young and perhaps a touch naive, carried a burden heavier than any garment. His dreams, visions of sheaves bowing down, of stars and sun and moon prostrating before him. These were not mere fantasies. They were prophetic glimpses into a future he could scarcely comprehend. Yet, in his youthful candor, he shared them, unwittingly igniting the fires of envy in his elder brothers. This is the first crucible, the envy of others, of force as ancient as Cain and Abel, a venom that can poison even the closest bonds. In our own lives, do we not encounter those who resent our blessings, our aspirations, our nascent light? We too often bear the coat of many colors, be it talent, opportunity, or a unique vision that sets us apart, making us targets for the bitterness of others. Stoicism teaches us to discern what is within our control and what is not. Joseph could not control his brothers' malice, nor their interpretation of his dreams, but he could control his response to the emerging chaos, to the simmering resentment that would soon boil over. One fateful day, sent by his father to check on his brothers in the fields, Joseph walked willingly into the jaws of their simmering hatred. They conspired against him, stripping him of his vibrant coat, casting him into a desolate pit. Here, the world turned upside down, from favored son to a forgotten shadow, swallowed by the earth. This sudden, brutal descent is a universal experience, the unexpected blow, the betrayal that shatters our naive sense of security. It is the moment when the predictable landscape of our lives gives way to a chasm of uncertainty. The pit is not just a physical space, it is a metaphor for the profound moments of abandonment, injustice, and despair that can engulf us, leaving us feeling utterly alone, without hope, and stripped of our very identity. If the echo of Joseph's descent into the pit resonates with a trial in your own journey, consider sharing this video with another soul who might find strength in these ancient truths. Your support helps us unveil more of these profound narratives. Yet, even in the pit, a seed of resilience, perhaps unknowingly Stoic in its essence, began to germinate. Joseph did not choose the pit, but he would choose how he existed within it. Then came the merchants, and with them a new horror. He was sold not into death, but into slavery, destined for Egypt. The shift from familial betrayal to the cold, dehumanizing grip of chattel slavery is a stark reminder of the unpredictable vicissitudes of fortune. One moment a beloved son, the next a commodity. In Egypt, Joseph found himself in the household of Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh. Here, his innate integrity and diligence shone through. Despite his enslaved status, he mastered his tasks, managed a household, and earned his master's trust. This is the Stoic virtue of finding purpose and executing excellence even in adverse circumstances. Joseph did not rail against his enslavement. He applied himself fully to the duties that were within his control. He cultivated his inner garden, even when his external landscape was a barren wasteland of injustice. For a Christian, this is also a testament to seeking God's purpose, even in the midst of suffering, trusting that every trial can be an instrument for growth. But another test, more insidious than the pit or the slave market, awaited him. Potiphar's wife, captivated by Joseph's presence, sought to seduce him. This was not a betrayal from without, but a temptation from within, a moral dilemma that challenged his integrity and fidelity. To yield would mean momentary comfort, perhaps even advancement, but at the cost of his honor and his faith. Joseph's refusal was swift and unequivocal. How then could I do this great wickedness and sin against God? This is temperance and courage in action, a profound understanding that true freedom is found not in succumbing to carnal desires, but in the unwavering adherence to one's principles, to the divine law etched upon the soul. He knew that some prices are too high, some compromises too costly for the integrity of one's being. His reward for this virtue, not praise, but accusation, not elevation, but imprisonment. Falsely accused, Joseph was cast into Pharaoh's prison, a place of despair and forgotten souls. This is the cruel irony of virtue in a fallen world. Sometimes doing the right thing leads not to reward, but to further suffering. This perhaps is the most brutal lesson Joseph had to learn, that external events, even the outcome of our most virtuous actions, are ultimately beyond our control. The Stoic would nod, recognizing the harsh truth of the dichotomy of control. Joseph could control his purity, but not the malicious lie that followed. Yet even within the confines of the prison, Joseph continued to live by his inner compass. He did not succumb to bitterness or despair. He served, he interpreted dreams, he brought light to a place of darkness. He remained useful, compassionate, and true to his character. His inner citadel, forged in the fires of betrayal and injustice, became an unassailable fortress. Here, his faith, his unwavering trust in a higher power, became his anchor. He understood, perhaps not yet consciously, that even suffering could be a tool in the hands of providence, shaping him for a purpose yet unknown. As we reflect on Joseph's unwavering spirit in the face of such profound injustice, what inner strength are you cultivating today? Share your reflections in the comments below, and together let's build a community rooted in enduring wisdom. Years passed. The cupbearer Joseph had helped interpret a dream for, released from prison, forgot him. Such is the way of the world. Favors are often fleeting and gratitude, a rare commodity. But Joseph did not lament. He waited. This period of waiting is perhaps the most difficult challenge of all. The patient endurance, the unwavering hope when all outward signs point to abandonment. It teaches us the virtue of patience, the understanding that some seeds require long winters before they can bloom. It embodies the Stoic acceptance of the present moment, whatever its harsh realities, and the Christian's steadfast trust in God's perfect timing. Then, a sudden summons. Pharaoh was troubled by dreams no one in Egypt could interpret. 7 fat cows consumed by 7 thin cows. 7 good heads of grain devoured by 7 scorched heads. Chaos threatened Egypt, and with it the stability of the known world. It was then that the cupbearer remembered Joseph. Drawn from the depths of the dungeon, Joseph stood before the most powerful man in the world. He did not claim his own wisdom, but attributed it to God. It is not in me. God will give Pharaoh a favorable answer. Humility, even in the face of his greatest opportunity. Joseph's interpretation was not merely an act of divination. It was an act of profound wisdom and foresight. 7 years of abundance, followed by 7 years of devastating famine. But he did not stop there. He offered a solution, a strategic plan to gather and store grain during the years of plenty to prepare for the inevitable lean years. This is the synthesis of divine insight and practical wisdom, a call to proactive preparedness that echoes Stoic premeditatio malorum, the foresight to anticipate future difficulties and prepare for them. He transformed a warning into an actionable strategy for survival. Pharaoh, recognizing the Spirit of God and the unparalleled wisdom in Joseph, elevated him to the highest position in Egypt, second only to himself. From the pit to the palace, from slavery to sovereignty. This was not a stroke of luck, but the culmination of years of quiet integrity, unwavering faith, and hardened resilience. Every betrayal, every injustice, every lonely night in prison had forged him into the man capable of leading a nation through an unprecedented crisis. His suffering was not wasted. It was the anvil upon which his destiny was shaped. The famine came as predicted, stretching its hungry hand across all lands, and it brought with it Joseph's past. His brothers, driven by starvation, journeyed to Egypt to buy grain. They stood before him, the powerful viceroy, bowing down, fulfilling the very dreams they had once despised him for. They did not recognize him, but he recognized them. Here, the ultimate test, revenge or redemption, justice or forgiveness. Joseph, with masterful patience and profound wisdom, tested his brothers, observing their remorse, their changed hearts, their newfound responsibility for one another. He saw the transformation that their own trials had wrought in them, and in a moment of overwhelming emotion, he revealed himself. The scene is one of the most poignant in all Scripture, a man broken by his past, now unbroken and capable of breaking the chains of bitterness. I am Joseph, your brother, whom you sold into Egypt. His words that followed are the heart of Christian Stoicism. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives. This is Amor Fati, the love of one's fate, not in a passive resignation, but in an active embrace of even the harshest realities as integral to a larger providential design. Joseph did not pretend that betrayal didn't hurt, nor did he minimize their sin, but he saw past their limited human intention to a grander divine purpose. He chose forgiveness, not as an act of weakness, but as an act of profound strength, releasing himself from the prison of resentment and extending grace. The story of Joseph is a luminous mirror reflecting our own journeys. We too face betrayals, unjust accusations, prisons of despair. We too are called to maintain our integrity when tempted, to find purpose in the mundane, and to cultivate wisdom in the quiet moments of waiting. We are challenged to transform our pain into purpose, our fear into faith, and our discipline into freedom. Joseph's life teaches us that even when the world seems to conspire against us, a higher hand is often at work, weaving a tapestry of meaning from the threads of our suffering. His unwavering spirit, his profound forgiveness, and his steadfast faith offer a timeless blueprint for building an unshakable life rooted in Christ, guided by Stoic virtues, and ready to face any challenge that destiny may unveil. May you, like Joseph, learn to see the divine design in your own adversities, finding the strength to forgive, the wisdom to prepare, and the courage to endure, knowing that even your darkest valleys are but prelude to your greatest elevations. Joseph's journey from pit to palace shows us that our greatest trials can forge our greatest purpose. Are you navigating betrayals, searching for unshakable meaning, or facing overwhelming anxiety in a chaotic modern world? You are not alone, and the tools for an unshakable life are within reach. To truly ground your faith and understand the rational heart of Christianity, just like Joseph understood divine purpose, explore C.S. Lewis's Mere Christianity, a profound guide to right and wrong and human nature. Then, to cultivate the daily wisdom, inner peace, and resilience, Joseph exemplified, turn to the ancient Stoics. The Daily Stoic offers 366 days of powerful insights and exercises from figures like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. Complement this with Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, a timeless classic that provides practical advice on navigating life's challenges, embracing the present moment, and finding true self-mastery. These books are not just words, they are blueprints for a life of purpose and peace, transforming your adversity into elevation. Do not wait for destiny to find you, forge it yourself. Click the links in the description below to begin your Christian Stoic journey today.